4 more come through!
What did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
You mean this?
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it seems I was correct.
Meaning it could also close the breach itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
Good to know. Here I thought we'd be ass-deep in demons forever. Varric Tethras, rogue, storyteller, and occasionally unwelcome tag-along.
Are you with the Chantry, or...?
Was that a serious question?
Technically, I'm a prisoner, just like you.
I brought you here to tell your story to the Divine. Clearly, that is no longer necessary.
Yet, here I am. Lucky for you, considering current events.
That's a nice crossbow you have there.
Ah, isn't she? Bianca and I have been through a lot together.
You named your crossbow Bianca?
Of course. And she'll be great company in the valley.
Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but...
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
Ugh.
My name is Solas, if there are to be introductions. I am pleased to see you still live.
He means I kept that mark from killing you while you slept.
You seem to know a great deal about it all.
Like you, Solas is an apostate.
Technically, all mages are now apostates, Cassandra. My travels have allowed me to learn much of the Fade, far beyond the experience of any circle mage. I came to offer whatever help I can give with the breach. If it is not closed, we are all doomed regardless of origin.
That's a commendable attitude.
Merely a sensible one. Although sense appears to be in short supply right now. Cassandra, you should know, the magic involved here is unlike any I've seen. Your prisoner is a mage, but I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
Understood. We must get to the forward camp quickly.
Well... Bianca's excited.
Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this.
Let's hope it works on the big one.
Echoes of what happened here. The Fade bleeds into this place. This rift is not sealed, but it is closed, albeit temporarily. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side. The Chosen of Andraste, a blessed hero sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I imagine you find some amazing things in there. alongside all the demons.
Exactly. It is occasionally dangerous, yes. But more often it's just sad to see what has been lost. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate mage surrounded by Chantry forces, and unlike you, I do not have a divine mark protecting me. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
You came here to help, Solas. I won't let them use that against you.
How would you stop them?
However I had to.
Thank you. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach. Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
What's your problem with the Dalish? Allergic to Hala?
They are children acting out stories misheard and repeated wrongly 1,000 times.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the Fade. I have seen things they have not.
Irabellas, Harel. If the Dalish have done you a disservice, I would make that right. What course would you set for them that is better than what they know now?
You are right, of course. The fault is mine, for expecting what the Dalish could never truly accomplish. Irabellas, darling. If I can offer any understanding, you have but to ask.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal. But Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. A place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish aerovels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits. Others trade freely with humans, and some have disappeared entirely into the forests.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Is the magic they teach in the Circle different from the magic I learned with my people?
No, and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing Chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition, much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No, it was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Tevinter disapproves of it. But as I said, Magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
I'd be interested in learning more about blood magic.
I would teach you if I knew it. Unfortunately, using blood magic seems to make it more difficult to enter the Fade. You understand why I never bothered to learn it. A shame, as it is extremely powerful, provided it remains a tool, not a crutch, nor a passion. You're alive! We saw you die!
The spell Alexius cast displaced us in time. We just got here, so to speak.
Can you reverse the process? You could return and obviate the events of the last year. It may not be too late.
You look bad. Is there anything I can do to help?
I am dying, but no matter. If you can undo this, they can all be saved. But you know nothing of this world. It is far worse than you understand. Alexius served a master, the Elder One. He reigns now unchallenged. His minions assassinated Empress Selene and used the chaos to invade the south. This Elder One commands an army of demons. After you stop Alexius, you must be prepared.
We can't do this without you.
If there is any hope, any way to save them, my life is yours. This world is an abomination. It must never come to pass. So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel. Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
I've been to the Fade before. I'd know it.
Point taken. What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witness.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I, and Cassandra, Cullen and the rest failed to stop this Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront. A word.
The humans have not raised one of our people so high for ages beyond counting. Her faith is hard-won, Lethaline. Worthy of pride, save one detail.
The threat Corypheus wields. The orb he carried. It is ours. Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. We must find out how he survived. And we must prepare for their reaction when they learn the orb is of our people.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
Such things were foci, said to channel power from our gods. Some were dedicated to specific members of our pantheon. All that remains are references in ruins, and faint visions of memory in the Fade, echoes of a dead empire. But however Corypheus came to it, the orb is elven, and with it, he threatens the heart of human faith.
Their blame won't matter if we can't get out of this wilderness.
That is the immediate problem. And it offers a solution that may secure your place in their hearts. You saved them at Haven. Perhaps you can again. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhawk. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You've given me good counsel before. I could use some now.
My apologies, Inquisitor. My poor manners shame me. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believed the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Devinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities, giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. It spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Devinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries. Hello.
I'd like to know more about you, Solas.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solas. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If Corypheus destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Ah.
Inquisitor, that is why I joined, not why I stayed.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Indomitable focus?
Presumably. I have yet to see it dominated. I imagine that the sight would be fascinating.
You said you traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kaelin fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solas.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer either. We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your anchor, as Corypheus calls it, allows you some control over the breach. That suggests it was deliberate.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade, but according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality, where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
Your Dalish say that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
Please, if you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
We talked about that already.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
How long can it take to look at a mark on my hand?
A magical mark of unknown origin? Tied to a unique breach in the veil? Longer than you might think. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
Cassandra's like that with everyone.
Yes. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The breach threatened the whole world. Where did you plan to go?
Someplace far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me. I never said it was a good plan. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
Felt the whole world change?
A figure of speech.
I'm aware of the metaphor. I'm more interested in felt.
You change everything.
Sweet talker.
We shouldn't. It isn't right. Not even here.
What do you mean, even here?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up. Sleep well?
I've never done anything like that before, on a number of levels.
I apologize. The kiss was impulsive and ill-considered, and I should not have encouraged it.
You say that, but you're the one who started with tongue.
I did no such thing.
Oh, does it not count if it's only Fade tongue?
It has been a long time, and things have always been easier for me in the Fade. I am not certain this is the best idea. It could lead to trouble.
I'm willing to take that chance, if you are.
Maybe, yes. If I could take a little time to think. There are considerations.
Take all the time you need.
Thank you. I am not often thrown by things that happen in dreams, but I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff. But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
You just have to ask.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
When your friend was captured, how did she...
It. My friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
I thought spirits wanted to find their way into this world.
Some do, certainly. Just as many Orlesian peasants wish they could journey to exotic Rivain. But not everyone wants to go to Rivain. My friend is an explorer, seeking lost wisdom and reflecting it. It would happily discuss philosophy with you, but it had no wish to come here physically.
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
All right, let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map. My friend! Ah!
The mages turned your friend into a demon.
Yes.
You said it was a spirit of wisdom, not a fighter.
A spirit becomes a demon when denied its original purpose.
So they summoned it for something so opposed to its own nature that it was corrupted. Fighting.
Let us ask them.
A mage! You're not with the bandits? Do you have any lyrium potions? Most of us are exhausted. We've been fighting that demon.
You summoned that demon! Except it was a spirit of wisdom at the time. You made it kill! You twisted it against its purpose!
I understand how it might be confusing to someone who has not studied demons, but after you help us, I can...
We are not here to help you.
Word of advice. I'd hold off on explaining how demons work to my friend here.
Listen to me. I was one of the foremost experts in the Kirkwall
Shut up. You summoned it to protect you from the bandits.
Yes.
You bound it to obedience, then commanded it to kill. That is when it turned. The summoning circle. We break it, we break the binding. No orders to kill, no conflict with its nature, no demon.
What? The binding is the only thing keeping the demon from killing us. Whatever it was before, it is a monster now.
Inquisitor, please!
I've studied rituals like this. I should be able to disrupt the binding quickly.
Thank you. We must hurry! Lethaline, Mirabelas.
Tel Abalos en Asel Atalin. Mamilava Halani. Malasuladinadas. Magilani Mitanam.
Manuvinen. Dareth Shara.
I heard what it said. It was right. You did help it.
No. I must endure.
Let me know if I can help.
You already have. All that remains now is them.
Thank you. We would not have risked the summoning, but the roads are too dangerous to travel unprotected.
You tortured and killed my friend.
We didn't know it was just a spirit. The book said it could help us.
Solas.
Never again. I need some time alone. I will meet you back at Skyhold. Inquisitor.
How are you, Solas?
It hurts. It always does. But I will survive.
Thank you for coming back.
You were a true friend. You did everything you could to help. I could hardly abandon you now.
Where did you go?
I found a quiet spot and went to sleep. I visited the place in the Fade where my friend used to be. It's empty. But there are stirrings of energy in the void. Someday something new may grow there.
What happens when a spirit dies?
It isn't the same for mortals. The energy of spirits returns to the Fade. If the idea giving the spirit form is strong, or if the memory has shaped other spirits, it may someday rise again.
You're saying your friend might come back?
No, not really. A spirit's natural state is peaceful semi-existence. It is rare to be able to reflect reality. Something similar may reform one day, but it might have a different personality. It would likely not remember me. It would not be the friend I knew.
The next time you have to mourn, you don't need to be alone.
It's been so long since I could trust someone.
I know.
I'll work on it. And thank you. Inquisitor, Do you have a moment? What were you like before the anchor? Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
I don't believe so.
Ah.
Why do you ask?
You show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
Sorry to disappoint.
It's not disappointing, it's... Most people are predictable. You have shown subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I expected. If the Dalish could raise someone with a spirit like yours, have I misjudged them?
I don't hold the Dalish up as perfect, but we have something worth honoring. A memory of the ancient ways.
Perhaps that is it. I suppose it must be. Most people act with so little understanding of the world, but not you.
So what does this mean, Solas?
It means I have not forgotten the kiss.
Good. Don't go.
It would be kinder in the long run, but losing you would... Arlath Mavanan. I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you encountered any trouble with the nobles?
The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, and the servants have been happy to refill my glass.
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
Do you have any interest in dancing?
A great deal. Although dancing with an elven apostate would win you few favors with the court. Perhaps once our business here is done. I'm not surprised to find you out here. Thoughts?
It's been a very long day.
For everyone, I'd imagine. It's nearly over now. Cullen's given the men their marching orders as we speak. Come, before the band stops playing, dance with me.
I'd love to.
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the dread wolf, Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Harel in Mathal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
My clan set statues of the Dread Wolf outside our camp. They're meant to frighten harmful spirits.
Perhaps. I thought the ancient elves above quaint superstitions.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
You two look like you're about to kiss when you argue.
'Tis time we pressed forward.
Agreed.
'Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You have the features of those who call themselves Elven. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I don't understand the slumber bit. Who are you?
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solas, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
Our people have lost everything. They need you. They could learn from you.
Our people? The ones we see in the forest, shadows wearing Valisleen. You are not my people. And you have invaded our sanctum as readily as the Shemlin.
We knew this place was sacred. We've respected it as best we could.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mithal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vira Belasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
Morrigan!
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Samson thought the well's knowledge was valuable. It could help stop Corypheus.
I care nothing for your petty conflicts, Shemlin.
You'll care when Corypheus arrives for the well.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
Look around you. Everything your people were. It's already gone.
It is.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not touched. It may be that only Uthenra awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity never to awaken, if fate is kind.
You could come with us. Fight Corypheus. He killed your people.
We killed ourselves. Long ago.
Malas Amalin Nahalam Abalas. His name, Abalas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name. The Temple of Mythal was extraordinary. In all my journeys, I never dreamed of finding anything like it. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'm not arrogant enough to think it's my decision alone. Whatever happens, we'll do it together.
You think to share your power, to avoid the temptation to misuse it. A noble sentiment, but ultimately a mistake.
Why?
Because while one selfless woman may walk away from the lure of power's corruption, no group has ever done so.
There's a first time for everything.
Perhaps, but it will not be this time. I believe even you know that.
Why is this so important to you?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You must not let false modesty allow you to pass your power to someone else. There are few regrets sharper than watching fools squander what you sacrifice to achieve. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
You're being grim and fatalistic in the hope of getting me into bed, aren't you?
I am grim and fatalistic. Getting you into bed is just an enjoyable side benefit. Come with me, Vanan. The veil is thin here. Can you feel it on your skin, tingling? I was trying to determine some way to show you what you mean to me.
That's not necessary, Solas. You're my...
That is the question, is it not? For now, the best gift I can offer is the truth. You are unique. In all Thedas, I never expected to find someone who could draw my attention from the Fade. You have become important to me. More important than I could have imagined.
as you are to me.
Then what I must tell you, the truth. Your face, the Valasleen. In my journeys in the Fade, I have seen things. I have discovered what those marks mean.
They honor the elven gods.
No, they are slave markings. Or at least they were in the time of ancient Alathan.
So this is... what? Just one more thing the Dalish got wrong?
I'm sorry.
We try to preserve our culture. And this is what we keep. Relics of a time when we were no better than Tevinter.
Don't say that. For all they got wrong, the Dalish did one thing right. They made you. I didn't tell you this to hurt you. If you like, I know a spell. I can remove the Valasleen.
If what you're saying is true...
It is.
Then... my people vowed never to submit to slavery.
I'm so sorry for causing you pain. It was selfish of me. I look at you and I see what you truly are. And you deserve better than what those cruel marks represent.
Then cast your spell. Take the Valasleen away.
Sit. Alasa Malarevas. You are free. You are so beautiful. And I am sorry. I distracted you from your duty. It will never happen again.
Solas.
Please, Fanan.
Solas, don't leave me, not now. I love you.
You have a rare and marvelous spirit. In another world.
Why not this one?
I can't. I'm sorry.
Solas?
The orb.
I know you wanted the orb saved. I'm so sorry.
It is not your fault.
There's more, isn't there?
It was not supposed to happen this way. No matter what comes, I want you to know that what we had was real.
Inquisitor, are you alive?
Victorious, I see. What a novel result. And it seems the breach is finally closed.
Looks that way.
What do we do now?
We go back to Skyhold.
Moment, my lady. My agents have found no trace of Solas. He has simply vanished. If he does not wish to be found, there's likely nothing we can do. But I will keep looking.
It's odd that he would just leave without a word.
You said he was upset about the orb.
That can't be the only reason.
I knew you would come. You should not have given your orb to Corypheus, Dread Wolf.
I was too weak to unlock it after my slumber. The failure was mine. I should pay the price. But the people... they need me. I am so sorry.
I am sorry as well, old friend.
That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
Slaves? Of other elves? The old elves? Pissers?
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Harel is our god of misfortune. This is Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
But Fenny helping is bonkers.
This claims the elven gods were just Evanuris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Almost like these slaves were being untaught what they'd learned, being formed into a rebellion.
If that's true, Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods. Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evanuris posing as gods.
The Dalish are going to shit themselves.
A note about an unknown intruder coming through an alluvion. They turned spirits against us, then fled. 2 parties then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them.
Hashara! Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Solas, agent of Harel.
What?
Solas wanted that orb. If the agents of Harel gave it to Corypheus, he couldn't be one.
Or perhaps he was tasked with removing the evidence of his group's interference. Solas tricked us all. He pushed a dying Canary into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Panahayden, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solas will not outlive you.
That's why Solas left. He's been helping us fight the Kunari all this time. We have to save him.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed.
Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solas.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari were trying to kill you. I wanted to get here first.
I know. They sought an agent of Fan Harel. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fan Harel.
I was Solas first. Fan Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. And now you know. What is the old Baelish curse? May the Dread Wolf take you?
And so he did.
I did not. I would not lay with you under false pretenses.
But you lied to me. I loved you. Did you really think I wouldn't have understood?
Ir Abelas, Fanan.
Tell Abelas. If you care, give me the truth.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fan Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
The Evanurus were elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus?
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
So, at least some of the stories about the Dreadwolf are true.
I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you?
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
You never cared about us. We were the means to an end.
You were people, and you deserved better. Like all the rest I have used in one hopeless battle after another.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Veilguard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
So you let us do your dirty work?
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
I know, Venan. And we are running out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
Solas, Varlak Vir Suladin.
I wish it could, Venan.
never forget you.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solas knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
Take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive. You three just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solas isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solas needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I gotta try to reach him. But if he won't listen to me, then he'll hear from Bianca.
More demons!
Rook, take care of the team for me. Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
The Veil is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying. It is what they do. You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall. Push! You have no idea what you have done.
Solas. I know what I did. I stopped you from destroying the world.
I was not destroying the world. When you disrupted my ritual, the magical energies pulled me here, into the Fade.
Okay, so that's why you're here. But why am I here?
Your physical body is unconscious, but you shed a few drops of blood at the ritual site. Enough for a tenuous connection.
Blood magic?
Firstly, I abhor the use of blood magic. Secondly, had I the power to control you, I would already have used it.
All right, you brought me here to talk. What are we talking about?
The Evanurus, or as you would call them, the Elven Gods. The creatures that escaped. In ancient times, they ruled the elves, but that was not enough. They sought not just to be obeyed, but to be worshipped. When I rebelled, they drew on the horrific magic of the Blight, corrupting all they saw until I trapped them. Thanks to you, though, I am now trapped, and the blighted Elven Gods walk free.
Right, you were innocently doing nothing when we came along.
The prison in which I had trapped them had begun to crumble. I was moving them to another.
So you weren't tearing down the veil and drowning the world in demons and wild magic?
I had a plan.
Varric always said you'd have a big explanation for why none of this was your fault.
Varric?
Yeah, he said that's your style. Never quite lies, clever half-truths that let you convince yourself you're doing the right thing. He tried to talk to you anyway, and now he's hurt.
Varric is quite practiced at shading the truth himself.
So those things that got out, you said they were gods?
They said they were gods. Blighted, tyrannical, sadistic gods. It took all my power to imprison them millennia ago, but I am certain you will be fine.
That's really helpful. What are you, the elven god of sarcasm?
Lies, treachery, and rebellion, depending upon the story. And how could I help? I do not have my ritual dagger. I cannot access my network of mirrors to travel from the lighthouse to anywhere in the world. All I can offer is what I know.
Helpful advice from the elven god of, and I am quoting you here, lies, treachery, and rebellion.
Depending on the story. Elganan and Gillenane are your problem to solve. This is your responsibility now.
Back so soon. It must have been worse than I had thought.
Hello, Dreadwolf.
But perhaps I am mistaken. You may be here to correct me, to tell me that my concerns were unfounded. I am, after all, remembered as the god of lies, treachery, and rebellion.
Depending on the story.
And what story shall we tell now?
I need to know what the gods are planning.
You are asking for knowledge no mortal in this world is privy to. If I am to share it with you, I need to know what makes you the right person to lead the fight against Algernon and Gillenane.
Someone has to do something. I may not be the right person for this job, but I'm the only one left.
So your call to action is that any attempt is better than none?
Back in the Grey Wardens, I was with a group of recruits outside this village dealing with the Darkspawn incursion. Our orders were to wait for reinforcements, but we knew that by the time they arrived, everyone in that village would be dead.
So you led your team of recruits in any way, collapsing the tunnel and saving the village.
How'd you know that?
You helped Varric pursue me for the better part of a year. It would have been foolish not to learn about who was hunting me.
Then you know that if someone has to make a call, I'll do it.
I suppose I was not so different when I started.
Started what?
My rebellion against the Evanuris. The elven gods, as you call them. They wish to reclaim their dominion over this world. To accomplish that, they will need two things. First, the Blight. What exists in this world is a bare fragment of its power. The rest is imprisoned, until they release it.
The rest of the Blight is imprisoned? There's more than what's in the world already?
Yes. Centuries ago, the Magisters of Tevinter opened my prison. A tiny fragment of the Blight escaped. That fragment grew beneath the earth and led to the Blights that have swept across the world. However terrible the Blight is now, it is a mere fraction of what we will see if its full power is unleashed.
I don't understand. Elgernon and Gillenane were elves like you, right? Why would they want to blight the world?
It is my fault. As the Dread Wolf, I was a thorn in their side. When my efforts weakened their grasp on the elven people, they grew frustrated, then desperate.
And turned to the Blight.
Once the corruption took hold of them, they were blind to its horror. It was just another source of power for them. Now they would blight the world without hesitation and call us backward and foolish for opposing them.
The Blight didn't escape with the gods?
Algernon and Gillenane escaped largely empty-handed, fortunately. Most of the Blight is still trapped in the prison I created ages ago.
So what we saw at that village, that's them not at full strength?
Correct.
Then we shut down whatever they need to do to free the Blight.
They will need to pierce the veil to reach the Blight's prison. My lyrium dagger is one of the few artifacts capable of doing so.
We've already recovered it from the ritual site.
Excellent. Then they will have to make their own. That will give you time.
You said the gods needed two things, and the Blight is the first. What's the second?
Followers. They have called themselves gods. And what is a god without worshippers to sing their praises?
You think they want the elves back? I don't think the elven people will bend a knee to blighted murderous monsters.
Agreed. Algernon and Gillenane care little for the elves. They will find worshippers among those hungry for power. Tyrants and bullies. The cruel and the corrupt, who fear their own vulnerability and seize any chance to feel strong. If you hunt them, they will lead you to Algernon and Gillenane.
You want me to pick fights with tyrants and bullies? Sounds fun.
I gave no orders. All I offer are suggestions.
I'm on it. What else?
The Veravas, the lighthouse Soluvian, can take you anywhere, if you master its secrets. Have you done so?
Not yet, but we've got one of the Veil Jumpers working on it. She'll get it sorted, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes, I suppose we will.
And when you speak with Varric, please tell him that I regret what happened. When last we spoke, you were hunting for followers of Elganan and Gillenane in hopes of finding specifics. Has your search been successful?
You could say that. It looks like both the Venatori and the Antam are working for Elganan and Gillenane.
Unsurprising. The Venatori want magical secrets, and the Antam want to destroy anyone opposing their brutal expansion. Both will readily bow to anyone who promises them power.
It's more than a promise this time. The Antam and the Venatori both have dragons doing their bidding.
Dragons? That is worse than I had feared.
Yeah. We drove off the one the Venatori brought into Minrathous. Barely.
Have you determined how the dragons are being directed? If it is blood magic, it may be possible to disrupt their control.
The dragons were blighted. We think that's what let the gods control them.
The blight? Of course.
The blight seems to be the gods' favorite tool right now. We ran into Venatori who could control Darkspawn.
Elganan would not bestow such power unless the Darkspawn were to serve as the main force of his army. And I suspect Gillenane will see the Darkspawn as new subjects for her modifications.
We've already run into a few Darkspawn nobody has seen before. That's in addition to the blighted dragons.
That is the fate Elganan and Gillenane planned for this world then. Corruption and blighted slavery.
Stop acting like you're so much better than they are. Your bullshit ritual would have destroyed the world just as badly.
Do you truly believe my goal was to destroy this world?
I believe your goal, like you said, was to transfer the gods to a better prison. The one you're stuck in now. And you were willing to tear down the veil and destroy this world while you did so.
The veil is a wound I cut into the Fade in a moment of desperation. While making their prison, it should not exist. I had a host of spirits ready to help when the veil fell. They would have minimized the loss of life.
Do you have any idea what you sound like? You could have actually saved the world from the blight, but instead you chose to kill thousands of people with your vanity project.
It is not vanity. I broke this world. I am the only one who can fix it.
Spoken like a god.
I am not a god. I am as I have always been. A man. All too aware of his failings. But equally aware that if he did not act, accepting the judgment it would bring, all would be lost. They called me the Dread Wolf. What will they call you when this is over?
I don't care what they call me. If they're calling me anything, it means they're still alive. That's all that matters.
Acceptance. You are willing to face the consequences your actions may one day bring because the world needs you. I believe I can work with that. If the gods are using dragons, you will wish to find someone trained to fight them. Have you unlocked the Lighthouse Illuvian?
Yes. We found the crossroads. It's still confusing, though.
I cannot help you from in here. You may need to find an expert in the magic of the Fade. And if the Darkspawn are to be Elganan's army, you will need Grey Wardens to fight them.
I've got a few of them, and I'm a warden myself. Maybe that's enough?
Doubtful. You'll want an army. And I believe you will find a way to obtain one. You seem to have a knack for gaining the cooperation of your adversaries.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solas's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the veil. To him. Somehow.
Solas is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
I appreciate it. Solas has been helpful while he's trapped in the Fade, but anything that can help me get inside his head will help counter him getting inside mine.
Wisely spoken. Solas rarely lies directly, but he finds ways to weave the truth into a noose you find yourself wearing.
Solas was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think, I hope, it might help you.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the blighted dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
No. The First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy, I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said that nobody else was doing it. That sufficed for me. But you will need more to convince the Grey Wardens. They see themselves as destined to lead this battle.
You cannot defeat Elganan and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the First Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanurus once numbered many more than those whose names survive in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
All I can really do is keep trying to get through to them.
Have you ever ridden home in a wagon and felt the streets go from paved to dirt beneath the wheels? The horse is slow, and everything grows quiet as you're near home. What do you call that feeling?
I don't really have a word for it.
No, you do not. Elganan destroyed that emotion. He burned it from the mind of every living being. There were spirits of that feeling, just as there are spirits of joy or fear or despair. I begged them to fight.
What happened to them?
They waited too long. Without the emotion in this world to focus on, they faded until nothing remained. When you grow quiet, it is a part of your soul reaching for a feeling and finding emptiness. Because I failed.
I understand. I'm not going to fail.
How? What will you do?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said. But it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes, the old gods of Tevinter, the archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanurus.
All right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanurus as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanurus until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanurus bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganan is the lord of tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Nathor not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
What about Gillenane and her dragon? Pride and ego can blind someone. We can exploit that.
By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrew, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanurus. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanurus will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanurus are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanurus down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared. I wondered when you would return. The fall of Weishaupt reverberated across the Fade some time ago, as did the fall of an archdemon. But unless I am mistaken, both Elganan and Gillenane yet stand.
We took down Gillenane's archdemon, but we weren't able to kill her.
And how are you doing?
I watched a lot of wardens die while Gillenane didn't. How do you think I'm doing?
You saw Treviso blighted. What makes Weishaupt harder to bear?
This time I was in charge. The Grey Wardens listened to my plan. My team followed orders. Everyone was depending on me. We couldn't kill Gillenane. Weishaupt fell because I failed.
Rook, I led a rebellion against Elganan for 100 of your lifetimes. I have been where you now stand. Do you know how many times I had to order my rebels to retreat when we were outmatched in raw power? You rendered Gillenane mortal and escaped with your lives. The sting of wishing you had done more will push you to improve. But Weishaupt was a victory, and your team will see your passion, even if you must conceal the extent of your own pain. How are your companions, after what happened?
They have what it takes to stop the gods. I just need to get them to believe it.
Indeed. They must know beyond any doubt that you believe in them. You cannot stand against Elganan and Gillenane with logic. Those motivated by greed or self-interest will change alliances, but those who serve you with passion and loyalty will follow wherever you lead, even to their deaths if necessary.
I'm not planning to order anyone to their deaths.
If you gain their loyalty, they will need no orders. They will volunteer.
I can't build these people up knowing I might have to send them to their deaths. There's always another option.
Perhaps you are right. Building your team is the best way to minimize the chance of such an order becoming necessary.
I'll keep that in mind. Do you have any suggestions on our next move against the gods?
If you oppose Elganan and Gilnean's minions, you will get your opportunity.
You think one of the Antam or Venatori commanders will help us find the gods?
Possibly. But more importantly, you will aggravate them. You rendered Gilnean mortal at Weishaupt. It is an embarrassment, an insult, neither she nor Elganan can ignore. If you continue to disrupt their plans, you will not need to track them down. They will come to you.
And then we get some payback for Weishaupt.
As long as you are ready when the opportunity comes. One final warning. You have survived a confrontation with Gilnean, which few still live to claim. But her power pales in comparison to Elganan's. If he takes the field himself, remember, in a fight such as ours, escaping to fight another day is a victory.
Rook, can you hear me?
Solas?
Something's wrong.
I thought I just heard Solas.
You are correct. Elganan's magic has thinned the veil, allowing me to speak to you directly.
I heard him again. Tell me one of you heard that.
Not really. Sorry.
I fear we lack the time for explanation. If you can rescue the elves, Elganan is mine to face.
What do you mean?
Elganan! Lethalin! Ma banal avanuris! Masalin Algalana!
Didn't need to get that together. Let's keep moving. Solas is going to distract Elganan.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganan was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely, and those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Let me guess. You tried to tell them what they were getting wrong, and they didn't believe you.
There are few things that frustrate me as much as ignorance. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And every mage knows that what we see in the Fade might not be literally true.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganan, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elganan were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganan was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
The two of you are too much alike. Both of you want to be in charge.
I have no desire to be in charge.
No, you just want to be able to correct anyone who's not doing everything the way you would have done it.
I see you have been observing me as well during these conversations.
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
Last time I got his attention, he got angry enough to come after us with the blighted dragons. Hopefully this baits him into a mistake we can use against him.
Every act of resistance is a thorn in his side. He will break soon. When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
Except for Inquisitor Llewellyn.
I said that I resolved to do so, not that I succeeded. She is a good woman. Growing close to her was selfish of me.
Do you regret it?
I live with countless regrets. Some of them I have grown to cherish more than my victories.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them. You cannot do this, Elganon! You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evanuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dread Wolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
That can't be easy, Blara.
It was so mundane. Nothing grand or cosmic. No setting fire to the sun, just talking, politics. I wish they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solas, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solas were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
It sounded like Solas was loyal to Mythal. What did Elganon call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elganon instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elganon did. Solas did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Solas would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solas wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solas? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dread Wolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solas would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanurus seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Oh, I wish I could believe you. I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanurus and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solas love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Whether they were doing it or not, Solas cared about her. That's what matters.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We're deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made of something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The Blight's one of the only things that really scares Solas. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously, too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solas says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solas wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice.
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
So there's the shame Solas wanted to erase. He blames himself for Mythal's murder.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
Davrin and I have fought the Blight for years. It's terrifying. Watching the gods poison his world, his people, I understand why Solas would do anything to stop it.
I know, Rook. I'm not denying that. I wish there'd been a better way. That's all.
So does he. This isn't a memory he's proud of.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solas trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just, the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
The Maker was never my faith, Lace. But I'm sorry this is hard for you.
The chant of light has seen many iterations over the centuries. This may simply change our understanding of it.
But this was the one I grew up with. My ma still sings the chant. You know?
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The elven gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah. Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solas. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganan. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What? This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
This is... I don't even know what this is, and I'm not even an elf. I can't imagine what you and Davrin must be feeling.
It's fine.
We're spirits. What does this even mean? Could I accidentally banish myself?
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. Balara, you and Davrin are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
The entire idea is preposterous. Who would even believe us?
It does seem outlandish when taken out of context, I admit.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solas himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solas didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solas was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
Lyrium is the blood of the Titans.
The Titans would have felt it as an attack. They defended themselves.
The first memory we saw with Elganan seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
Lace, I'm so sorry.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solas regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except you did. He was worried. You said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solas made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
That's what Solas does, isn't it? He sees a problem, and he thinks of a solution that has huge, horrible knock-on effects. And then he does it anyway. Because there's no way anyone else could come up with something better. And it's okay that he did incalculable damage to the world. Because he's really sad, you see.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solas.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solas regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal, mistreated and imprisoned for centuries, until all it knows is fear.
What does this mean for Darkspawn? Should we be trying to help them?
I don't believe so. If the Blight is a corrupted dream, Darkspawn may be mindless manifestations of its anger.
Right. They're not people. We're never going to get through to them.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgernon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solas to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solas killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solas woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Every big mistake Solas made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault, and hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mithal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the Veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mithal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is going to make him angry. Sloppy.
Solas thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
The bad news is that the god of lies and trickery is almost definitely preparing to betray us. The good news is that we've gone through his dirty laundry.
So, we know his motivations. You think we can set a trap of our own?
That's the hope.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the...
These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solas did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Solas helped get us through, but he was protecting his interests, not us.
You don't think he helped for genuine reasons?
I think he wants his plan to succeed. Whatever it is.
Always a plan. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vanan.
Elven for heart.
For my heart. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Did he try to get you to come with him on his quest to tear down the Veil?
No. In fact, he forbade me to join him. He said he didn't want me to see what he would become. But that wasn't quite the truth. He's a terrible liar.
He's the god of lies, Inquisitor.
Tricks and treachery, yes. Lies of the heart? No. He forbade me to join him because I might have changed his mind. And then he left enough clues for us to follow anyway.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solas. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
He really made you happy.
Yes, he really did.
Well, you deserve to be happy. As long as he's not, trying to tear down the veil again.
That would put a dampener on things, yes.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about embarrassing Elganon in front of all his cultists.
You and your friends stood against the gods. Your courage is laudable.
Solas!
But mortals cannot win this battle. I am sorry, it is what must be.
I did everything for you, Rook. You're worthless.
Varric never believed in you.
You were never up to it.
You failed us all.
What fate cuts your conscience now, I wonder?
Nev!
Blood on your hands.
Your friend is dead.
Dead and gone.
Your fault.
Regret, like all emotions, is a powerful thing. It can bruise us, break us, or blind us to the truth. Regret is even strong enough to serve as the lock on a prison built to hold gods. Such a prison can hold any captive, even you. You were never ready to make the sacrifices that leadership requires. So through our connection, I molded you into someone the prison would accept in my place.
Varric.
Your work is done.
Stay with them. I'm going to talk to Solas.
You are as surprising as ever. Even I could not have escaped that prison. For you to manage it.
Varric believed in me when nobody else did.
He was a good man.
He was always there for me. Except that he wasn't. Because you killed him.
What happened at the ritual site?
I know what happened! I remember the truth now! You did something to my mind to make me keep seeing him!
Yes. I was wrong to do so.
You knew Varric was dead the whole time, but you kept pushing me not to see it! Why? How?
I was desperate. Unless I escaped, the world would fall to tyranny and blight. The only tool I had was my tenuous connection to you.
Blood magic.
As I said, I was wrong.
I knew you'd turn on me. All that big talk about freedom and justice, but when it counts, you're no different from Elganon.
I know. I betrayed you because I believed that only I could save this world. But I have failed, Rook. I have not stopped Elganon. I have not even defeated his archdemon. The victories that have been won since Elganan and Gillenane escaped are yours, not mine. If we are to save this world, we must work together.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Do you not believe I want to stop Elganan?
Of course you want to stop him. And as soon as he's gone, you're going to finish your ritual and drown the world in demons.
If joining me and stopping Elganan requires the veil to stay in place, then I will pay that price unflinching. I swear by my own foolish pride, by love for friends I've failed and hurt, by everything I ever held as sacred. I will leave the veil untroubled. It will never come down by my hand. Now, if you will come with me, I can show you what has prevented me from reaching Elganan. And you can tell me your plan. Do you feel it? The blight reacts to my presence. There. That must be the source of whatever intelligence guides it. If you can destroy the mind guiding the blight, we may be able to reach the palace. I can accompany you no further. My presence will only draw the blight to you. Once Elganan is mortal, the final blow must be yours. I can think of no one better to wield this.
You need that dagger for your ritual. I'm supposed to believe you just give it to me?
If you do not trust me to uphold my oath, that is all the more reason for the dagger to be out of my hands.
Please, Rook.
Good luck. When next we meet, let us be standing over Elganan's body!
Is there any chance at all, that he would listen to reason?
Speaking from the heart, Inquisitor?
Varric tried to reason with him, and he died for it.
As did Mythal when Solas took her power.
We have you, Morrigan. You have Mythal's memories. And we have the essence of the other fragment of Mythal from the crossroads.
Such power, even fragmented, is not to be taken lightly. Hold it for now, and when the time comes, if you believe the Dreadwolf's heart can be turned from this course, I shall try.
All right. We can deal with Solas when the time comes, but we still need to stop Elganan first. He's in the palace above us. We'll climb the Blight Tendril to get there. Once Solas takes down the Archdemon and renders Elganan mortal, we hit him with everything we've got.
Damn right we do.
Time's running short. Stock up on supplies, pay your respects, and say goodbye to the people you love. Be ready to go when I signal.
Get to the throne room. I know how to help Solas.
Solas.
I've got this! Go!
Cannot save you. He cannot even save himself. Now you understand that none may stand against me. Those who try stand alone. Come now. You did as well as anyone could have, but you cannot deny the truth.
This is my city!
Impossible! You will not!
You are mortal, Elganon. Enjoy it while it lasts. It is done. The world owes you a debt, both for defeating Elganon and for bringing down the Veil. I am sorry for this final betrayal, but I will do what I can to minimize the damage. When you see the old world restored, please, Rook. I do not wish to fight against you. I don't want to fight you either. But I don't want to see the world go through even more pain on top of what Elganon has done. Do you? This world is broken, Rook, because of my mistakes. This is why you had to use me to escape the prison. It's made from regrets, and you're trapped in yours. You cannot understand that destroying everything won't erase your mistakes. You have a chance right now to save the world. Bind yourself to the Veil and stop it from falling. I cannot. To stop now would dishonor those I have wronged to come this far.
Even if those you wronged asked you to stop?
Venan.
You think you've gone too far to come back? But you're wrong. I am here, walking the Denan Sharal with you.
I lied. I betrayed you.
I forgive you. All you have to do is stop.
Irabalas, Venan. But I cannot. Long before we met, I failed my oldest friend. She died for that failure. If I leave the veil in place, I am destroying the world she wanted. And I will have... She will have died for nothing.
And whose fault is that, Dread Wolf?
Morrigan.
One appellation among many I wear. I have been advisor to Orlais, Witch of the Wilds, daughter of Flemeth, and once, long ago, an old friend.
Mithal lives on in her, and in this. Mithal.
I pulled you from the Fade you loved and sent you into war. I used your wisdom as a weapon, and it broke you.
The things that I have done
are not for you alone to bear, my friend. The many wrongs we did together. I release you from my service. Banal Nadas, Arlathma, Venan.
My life force now sustains the veil. With every breath I take, I will protect the innocent from my past failures. The Titan's dreams are mad from their imprisonment. I cannot kill the Blight, but I can help to soothe its anger. I will go and seek atonement.
But you do not have to go alone.
Arkelas Virbanal.
Tel Banal Arama Vir Shiral Malasa Belanaris.
Thank you, Rook.
With Elgar'nan and Gillenane dead, and the Inquisitor finally reunited with her true love, it looked like one of the biggest stories this world had ever seen. was finally drawing to a close.